Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Stephanie Austin. I'm hailing from Dallas, Fort Worth. I am the Executive Director of Global Chamber, Dallas, Fort Worth, and we're so glad to have you all here today. We're going to have an exciting discussion today, and we're just thrilled beyond measures to tell you what's going on. I would like to also introduce our board chair, Anthony Piccolo. He is a phenomenal board chair. He's going to introduce our speaker today and also share with you many beautiful technique that his organization does. Now, Anthony is the CEO of Performance Scoring. I'm going to go ahead and do a shameless plug.
Thank you.
Performance Scoring is a platform that has phenomenal features that can help you with so many things within your organization and taking minutes, not just like your auditor and they send that information, recording information, documenting appropriately, keeping track of the meeting, guiding you throughout the meeting and the structure and having the questions prepared, which you're about to see this feature today. So want to thank you so much. We also have our leader here, one of our leaders here from Global Chamber, the corporate office. We have Cesar Trabanco. He's here. And so we're so glad for so many people to join. I would like to share a few housekeeping items. Please put in your information, such as your name and your contact information, so we can connect. The purpose of our Global Chamber meeting is to be able to network, do warm introductions. We're in 525 metros, 195 countries. If you want to join, it's simple. Just go to globalchamber.org and join and choose the chapter that's in your city, and we'll be more than happy to host you and have conversation. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Anthony. Anthony, the ball is in your court.
Well, Stephanie, thank you so much for the plug and the introduction. I really do appreciate it. We're so excited today to have Mrs. Diana Urrutia with us today. She is going to be the moderator of our panel with Dr. Barberena. And we also have Mrs. This is my cousin, not really, but just name wise, Mrs. Noelle Piccoli Biggs. Really excited to have them today to share with us about the Fulbright Scholar-in-Residence, and specifically her journey and expertise. And that, of course, is Dr. Adriana Barberena. So, really excited to have you, Diana. And Diana, at this point, the floor is yours. Thank you so much for taking the time today to do this with us.
Thank you, Stephanie, and thank you, Anthony, for the invitation to really showcase a wonderful opportunity that we have here at Dallas College through the Fulbright-in-Residence program. So I'd like to go ahead and introduce those that will be a part of this conversation. First, as Anthony stated, with Noelle Piccoli Biggs, she holds a master's degree in international relations and is a distinguished educator, a global advocate, and award-winning leader in service learning and global citizenship. Her leadership connects classrooms and communities through impactful programs that promote and inspire action and build intercultural understanding. So, for over a decade, she has volunteered with the International Rescue Committee, supporting refugees and immigrants in the DFW area, and assisting with the education, housing, and school enrollment to help families rebuild their lives with dignity and hope. And so the global experience really spans out from different areas around the world here. And so we also want to appreciate Noelle's, I would say, focus on service learning with the UN Sustainable Development Goals that increase student engagement and faculty participation, and also other things here at Dallas College. So thank you. We want to thank Noelle for joining us here today. And along with Ms. Noelle Piccoli Biggs, we have Dr. Adriana López Barberena. She is the Fulbright-in-Residence Scholar. She teaches at the Universidad Tecnológica de León, a public university in De León, Guanajuato, Mexico, where she enjoys the rewarding and dynamic nature of higher learning. She holds 2 master's degrees, one in marketing and the other in e-commerce. Additionally, she completed her doctorate to deepen her expertise in research. So her international experience includes participation in research and conferences in France, Japan, and across Mexico, broadening her global perspective. So throughout her time with us here, she is assisting us with initiatives here in the Dallas area. So we're going to highlight those here in the presentation. And so one of the first things that we want to do here is to go ahead and explain for some who may not be familiar with the Fulbright in Resident Scholar Program. We want to go ahead and begin with Noelle to tell us about the Fulbright Scholar-in-Residence program. Noelle, would you begin?
Thank you, Diana. Thank you, Anthony and Stephanie. Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here and talk about something that I'm passionate about it, which is Fulbright. Fulbright has several programs throughout the world in 160 plus countries that your organization or you as an individual can be part of. The Fulbright Scholar-in-Residence, it is a grant that we write a proposal and we select a Fulbright scholar to come here and be with us for a semester or for a whole academic year. There is also Fulbright programs for students, for professors, administrators, specialists, professionals, artists. There's several programs that you can be part of. I do want to share with you how your organization can partner with a local college and university. So the next slide is going to show all the benefits for higher education institutions and then for business. What I want to share with you is there's in any state, any country, there's always a Fulbright Association chapter, which I'm a member of the Dallas chapter. You can invite speakers to your company. You can do recruitment. You can connect with a university such as Dallas College on a study abroad program. You can request a Fulbright specialist like me to come to an organization and work on a particular project. You can host an international researcher and be on the top of science, technology, engineer, IT, you name it. So there's so many opportunities that you and your organization can make a difference. And I'll be happy to help you and your organization to identify the best Fulbright program that fits your needs and fits your academic goals and, of course, your organization.
Thank you, Noelle. Thank you for providing an overview for that. And one thing about that, prior to moving to the next slide, is that we want to go ahead and allow, and engaging our audience here today to then state of anything what Noelle just shared. If you have any questions at this point, we could probably entertain 2 questions. Does anybody would like Noelle to elaborate on anything as she mentioned with the Fulbright program and how inspirational this program is in order to provide global engagement opportunities, enhancing that for organizations at the educational, but also could be at the corporate level here. So I want to open it up to see if we have any. Okay, wonderful. Do not worry because you'll still have plenty of time. We were just giving you information that would allow you to then stop. Usually when we wait until the very end, sometimes the questions are really, right on task as you hear the information. So that's why we wanted to provide the opportunity. And then as you think about, Noelle, with, I'm serving as the community leader for young global leaders here with the Global Chamber. And so one of the things as you spoke about, the opportunities to enhance the corporations. Could you just speak a little bit about how this enhances our student learners, and our student population here, and how we help them connect to the industry and anything else that would be connected to the Fulbright there?
Any global opportunity, it is a high impacted practice that we all know that increases GPA and graduation rates, but also increases the individual understand of how their business, how their local work connects us with a global and how a global impact is going to impact here. So that's why I reinforce at Dallas College the importance to connect our service with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, because everything I do here impact in China and vice versa. So being a Fulbright Scholar is such a prestigious name to carry that it connects. You can be part of a network with other professionals and researchers and top-notch faculty that increases the network.
Thank you very much, Noeli. So as we look and we continue on with the Fulbright, now we want to speak with the Fulbright-in-Residence here and then learn about her journey and the expertise. And so then Dr. Adriana López Barberena, for this presentation, we're going to go ahead and, appreciate the hard work that she had to complete her doctorate and so forth. But we will then be addressing you as Adriana. Thank you very much for that opportunity to do so. So as we look at your journey, tell us about your Fulbright-in-Residence journey and your expertise in e-commerce and the techniques and analytics that you have used or are currently using.
Okay, well, thank you so much. It is an honor to be here, and I am really, really happy. It has been amazing. It has been such a journey. I have been connecting with people, trying to understand different ideas, perspectives. So, well, it has been a good opportunity. So, thank you so much. I am honored to be here and to address to this chamber. So, I would like to share with you the thing that I have enjoyed the most for the last decade maybe, that it is to talk about business. I really enjoy business. Business is something really natural for people, but it is also something really challenging. I have learned to respect people if they are owners, if they are working there, or if they are doing something, because it is not easy to be on the business area. It is challenging. You have to deal with many things and you have to organize things. So what I want to share is something that I do, that I normally teach, but that I have been doing so because I am also a consultant. So I'm sorry, I am. So it has been great. So I want to share with you something about my experience through e-commerce and the things that I really think that I am able to work with. The first of all, I would like to state that it is not easy just to make advertising. Everybody thinks that marketing is about making advertisement and doing a great photo shooting or maybe doing a beautiful post. And I do believe that I really respect that, but this is only the outside part of a great journey that you have to go through. So what I have tried to do with the enterprises is to talk about the e-commerce expertise, but in the sense of how do they plan the things that they do. And it is a long journey because you have to make many techniques possible so the enterprises can understand what they can do with the data or what they can do with the things that they have. Something that I have learned with the owners of the companies is that you don't just go with a good idea because I know what is a SWOT analysis and then I will go and implement it there. It is not true. It is not possible. Every company has their own possibilities, their own ideas, and their own tools to grow. So enhancing these opportunities, sometimes they call me because they want to do e-commerce. But if we start by trying to understand what is an e-commerce idea, we have to understand how is the company doing. So the things that you are looking here, for example, enhancing the digital communications or doing something with the data analytics, those are the little details that we have to take out from the company and then we have to convert it in something different or something useful. So if we can move to the next slide. These are two techniques that I really love to share with the companies, with the audience, with anyone, because we have to be aware that if you want to go digital, it is not magic. It is not because I want to do it. You need to know where are you and how do you measure that. So this is a really unique technique. It is not mine. Someone did it. This is a model, but this is prove that the companies should learn from the educational area because we do things that sometimes they do it just because they have to do it, but this is important to do. This is the way that we measure if you are able to go into the digital area. And if you are not able to do so, how can you do that? So we measure many things. We measure, for example, it is kind of tiny, but you can see, we measure how is your brand. How are you doing? Do you have a logo? Do you have a name? Do you have a proposal? Do you know how to sell? But those are like the normal things. We also measure the logistics. Are you in the logistic area? Do you know how to ship things to other countries right now? Because the problem with e-commerce is that it is really unique. because it is not the same to transport perhaps something like a bottle, if you have a bottle, but if you have a wine bottle, you have a problem because you are dealing with alcohol and you cannot move in really alcohol as easy as you can move other products like for perhaps a pen. So we need to understand what are you planning to do, how is your logistic, and those are the things that we measure through this instrument. Also, we measure something that it is really important for the companies, the way that they can pay. So consumer wants to know, how can I pay you? And for example, it is not the same to work here that you can do almost everything with your credit card that to do business in Mexico. In Mexico, you have to go through one store to do most of the transactions there. So you need to have something like, you call here something like wipes or whips, something like that, that you can go in the to do some payments. So you have to understand how is your company dealing with that, and also you have to understand. And if you see this little instrument over there, if you are in the middle, you have to go to the high level. Okay, so we measure these previews, and then after we make the integration, how was it? It was worth it, it was not. This has to go up, right? If it doesn't go up, we didn't do anything. So it is really useful. And the things that we are learning is that a beautiful marketing or e-commerce should be about working with the data, with the strategic area. So those are the beautiful things that through the learning experience, through the educational area, we can take to the enterprises. So I am really happy to share this. And I really, if I can give you a message as a entrepreneurship or people who is dealing with this, do this. First, try to understand where are you, how digital are you, and this is not something that just rises because you know how to go in Instagrams. And it doesn't go the way that I have a nephew, and my nephew is really young and he knows how to deal with video, right? So he's a gamer and he can do this because I don't know what happens here, but in Mexico, sometimes we tend to, instead of having community managers, we have sovereignty managers, we call that. So this is the nephew manager that just knows how to do things. But the problem with that is that you don't understand that you have to keep going. And being on digital, it is really terrible. It takes a lot of time and you have to be there 24 hours the whole year. You are not going out, you don't have holidays. So you need to know if you are prepared for that. And if we can see the other slide, please. The other one that I want to share about e-commerce is something that I really love. This is something that we are working with the academy. So it is a great opportunity because we are preparing and we are willing to share this with the, with the real ones, the ones that use this method. And this is called Google Analytics. Google Analytics is a tool that Google has released. You can go outside and go for the certificate and you can do that. But the problem is that you have to understand what you are doing here. So Google Analytics is a wonderful way to understand, but this is just an example. We can work with another instruments. We can try with HubSpot. We can try with, whatever you can do it. We can try with even with Excel. It is not recommended, but there are there are some enterprises that they don't have the data. They don't have even a website. They don't like to be online, and they say that it is a waste of time. So this is really a good possibility. We try to work with the companies so they can understand their data. For example, this is a beautiful tool. It is free. That's one of the most beautiful things that you can have. You don't have to pay in order, but what you have to pay is to learn how to use it. So we are dealing with this, and this is a great tool to work with. But the main idea is, and the main message right now is, please try to be aware of your data. If you want to be a really good leader, if you know how to deal with people, you need to know what to ask, right? Because if you don't know how to read the data, your employees doesn't need to know that too, so you need to know what to ask, how do you feel. And this is wonderful because this is a tool that if you know how to do it, you can go really easy on the e-commerce area. I don't have the other slides, but I think this is a very useful way to deal with this. And well, I don't know if you have like a question or something about, because this is something that I have done for the e-commerce and something that we are working, and I will be grateful to hear it. Yes, let me know.
I have a question. With so much emphasis on Google Analytics,
Yeah.
how do you help micro, small, medium-sized enterprises translate that data into actionable marketing decisions?
It is really amazing because you don't even have to do the chart. The chart is there, so you just have to work and plan on the next slide is going to talk about that.
Yeah.
We're talking about plans. I remember when they were interviewing me for in order to be a Fulbright scholar, they told me, "What could you teach?" Right? And I told them, and I really believe so. If you don't know your data, you cannot plan what you are going to do. So I will answer just like that. You need, in order to do, if you have this, you have to make a plan. And it is really easy because it is just only a normal business plan. You just have to put it on the digital field. But you have to be there and sit down with the owner and also with the people who is going to be involved, right? Because the problem is that I can do it on paper, but if they don't want to implement it, there is no way for me
Well, and
to work.
so much of that data, I was, I'm familiar specifically with Google Analytics, and it's what's
Mhm.
the old ancient Chinese proverb? When's the best time to plant a tree 20 years ago? When's the next best time now? When you
Yeah,
set up Google Analytics, it's not, there's no backwards history. So even, I've consulted with organizations, they're like, well, we don't need that now. We're just starting. And I'm like, no, that's exactly when you need it, because you
yeah,
need to see where you were in the
yeah,
future. How did you get to your future? And without having a
yeah.
tool like this, you can't really, you don't have the objective historical narrative of how it grew, that, your website traffic.
Right. And you are talking about something really great. You need to learn from your own story, right? Because everybody's trying to be Amazon or everybody's trying to be Coke, you are not. You have to know who you are and how do you go from the beginning till the end. And each month, I really recommend that at least you need to review this. Well, it will be great if you can do it, on a weekly day basis, but if you cannot do the at least each month you need to know I was here and I am moving here. I am having this opportunity here. And if you know how, if you learn how to deal with this, you have something to work with. So thank you for your question.
Thank you. Do we have anyone else who has a question regarding the techniques here and that were illustrated here?
I have a statement, I guess,
Sure, go ahead, Stephanie, go ahead.
as a business owner, is that's not my skill set, right?
Oh.
And it's like, how do I need to make this a priority, right? In the grand scheme of things, how do I do that? I have to just, I guess you have to carve out time, but the understanding, like to me, is it's not, it seems simple and easy, but I guess maybe a tool. Do you have a tool that someone can utilize? Because I think you mentioned that it was free or something of that nature, or
It
that
is.
to a person. What's the tool that we can utilize so we can start monitoring this of our data for our organization?
Indeed, I think this is something like once when I was in a conference, a photographer told us, you just need to go in and do it. I mean, it is free, so you just have to try to put your website on it and try to learn from your own data. It is really something done, it is really friendly with people. But you can go and you can have a certificate. The problem with the owners is that you don't have really that time. So maybe if you go just for a workshop, a little workshop that they can give you like the information, I will do so
Okay.
any time. So we can make like a small workshop and you will read the data. It is really easy. You can take almost a month or maybe the whole certificate, but the main idea is to understand how does the frames work. And it is really nice. You can also make your own reports and you can do the funnel of the or the journey, the customer journey And it is amazing the way that you can do it. It is really easy. So I will encourage you first, not to be afraid, just try to do it by your own. And if you have questions, you can ask anyone. Anytime I can help, but it is really easy. You just have to go for it.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Adriana. So as we continue, with the journey and your expertise in this area, we're going to go now to tell us about digital marketing in Mexico. What enhancements have you seen in the industry and things that you were showing us that are here on this slide? Go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. So well, now that we understand like the data and the beginning, now we move to the plans. And this is a picture or a photo that I really enjoy because this is something that we made for a company. So they are trying to understand, and there are some of our students working, and there is someone, watching, and it is really nice. But the things that we do is we observe, and then we take these actions and move it into a plan. So the things that you are doing, seeing here, or it is about first, how do you make a digital plan? You just have to know the 5 parts of the plan. It is not that hard. Who am I? That's the main questions. What do I want to do? Because I need to know, I want to be better on the digital, but you don't have to be that general. You need to be specific. How do I deal with perhaps, I don't know, Instagram? How can I do how could I take advantage of these social media? And you have to really be specific. So the idea when we are making a plan is trying to be from the general to the specific area. Then we move to the way that we do it, okay, and our resources to do it. One of the things that I really would like to share with you is that not because everybody is doing Facebook, I have to do Facebook. It is not true that everybody needs to be on Instagram. It is not true. Okay, there is a special consumer for this for that social media that you need to understand. If I am a B2B business, sometimes perhaps I should go only on, I don't know, something different. Maybe just the website and maybe the blogs, and maybe I will try to move to LinkedIn just to enhance my better sales managers or whatever. But I don't need to plan the same. The beautiful thing about digital marketing and any business plan is that you need to make ad hoc, is that how we say it? You have to be just preparing the things just for the resources and the things that you have to do for the company. And with Mexico, the beautiful thing is that most of the times when they have illusions, they have, they are willing to do so, but most of the time they don't have the budget. Okay, so when we are arriving with the accountant part and with the administrator, they don't like to spend money. Okay, and marketing is always something that you are going to spend. It is really nice to see the video, but they don't want to spend on the advertising. So the things that you really have to do on the digital plan is to understand the resources of your company. Everybody can do it, but you need to adapt. If it is just one person trying to be an entrepreneurship, well, do it with your own resources. And something that I really like to always encourage people is to use the free resources that we have now. We have many beautiful tools because I have found, and they have called me because they bought this huge, enterprise plan that it was really an opportunity, but they don't know how to handle it. And I won't say it, but it is really, it is really well known, this company, and it is really expensive. And when they called me, they told me, we have 5 people here. We bought the program. We have been there for almost 1 year, and we don't know how to move this program. And if we want to move this program, they charge us extra because they are coming, because they have to send a specialist in order to do so. What I really encourage people here is not to believe that you have to pay for everything. Try to do everything the most that you can, but you have to be honest. Okay, if you want to make video, a nice video, and you are not an expert, you have to pay for it. Okay, but you don't have to pay for everything, but you have to pay for some things that are really important. For example, photo shooting. Those are the things that you really need to pay if you want to be online. You don't need your, oh, I can take it with my camera. No, because you are not a professional. Those are the things that you can really, spend the money in. But perhaps you can do the advertising because through Google Ads, if you know how to move Google Ads, you can do it really easy. And also the other thing that I would like to express that it is really common that, and you really have to take care is about the budget. You need to understand that marketing online is not free. You have to pay for it. Okay. You have to pay for the advertising. But I did a great video. Well, then you need to have budget to make the advertisement, because sometimes it is really hard because they spend a lot of money making the video shooting plus doing the editing, and now they have this beautiful video, but they don't have to pay for the ad. So it doesn't make sense. So you have to understand this. And the last part that you need to understand on a digital plan area is that you need to measure and you need to have what we call KPIs. You always need to have KPIs. You don't go just because you like to do so. You need to know what is your investment on the advertising and what is the return for that. How do you measure? I don't know. I love one part, and I'm sorry because I am being detailed, but I really love this part. You just go because you have many likes. That is not the way to measure social media. You don't need likes. You need comments. You need shares. You need things that move the audience in order to be engaged with you. Those are the little details that we do. We measure, okay, we have this KPI. So you have, I don't know, a post with 500 likes. That's good. But was your audience engaged? Do you have any comments? Okay. And perhaps it is better to understand that even though if you have like 3 likes, but maybe they are engaged and they are talking a lot about that post, that's something that you can, be working on. So digital planning is about doing the things, but also about giving tips to the companies. Those tips that they are not, that common, that sometimes you don't know, but it is really nice to share that. And in Mexico, what I have found is that we have a huge opportunity because we all need to be, aware of this. And also with young people, what I really like to encourage is that they have to be kind of, how can I say, they think that they know a lot sometimes because they are digital. So, oh, no, you don't know this because I know how to make this Instagram. No, let's try to be honest. Perhaps you know how to make the Instagram, but perhaps I can read the Instagram and I can give you some directions and then you will go with your own ability. So I think that I'm sorry, but I can speak a lot of this. Okay, so
No,
well,
thank you.
okay.
No, thank you, Adriana. We do want to take a question from Stephanie. Go ahead.
Yes.
So just to go back to, and based on what you were saying, a lot of people look at the likes, right? Oh, I got so many likes. But as you
Yeah.
mentioned, it needs to be engaging and
Yeah.
sharing. And so
Yeah.
do you have any tips for people that would help their media posting, whatever social media platform they decide to choose for their business?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any suggestion on how they can make their audience be more engaged? Should there be more questions? Should there be something that piques their interest? How do you get your audience to be more engaged and also shareable that you've experienced as a leader?
Well, I think that it is a huge number of recommendations here. First, you need to know your industry. The first thing that I have learned, because I have worked with different business, for example, with the footwear industry, it is not the same like the real estate industry. They all have different times. So I would like to encourage first to understand what's the industry that you are working in. That's the first idea, because you cannot compare Instagram in one sector. It is different. It is different. The second thing that I will encourage to do is to understand how does your audience engage to you. So you need to spend at least 6 months on the market in order to know how to move. That's my experience. I have been working with several companies from zero. They didn't have the media, and now they are moving. But you don't measure social networks until maybe the third or fourth month. So you have to be patient. And something that I really will encourage people is to learn from their own experience, right? So measure your first post, and then go ahead and measure next week, and then move, and then try to read the data that you have behind. Okay, those are the little details. Perhaps first of all the industry, second the time, and also the things that you are doing. We do something, and that will be like my other recommendation, that it is called content, marketing content, and there are some techniques to do that. We have several techniques in order to share with the audience, but your audience can be engaged mostly if you show them how to be entertained, or games or something like that. Also, if you have something that they can, dream with, something that inspires people to do so. Also, you can do it through the selling area, but it is not true that you just have to put, something like buy it, buy it, buy it. That is not for that is something that you have to do, but not many times. And also, you need to understand that people wants to learn from you something that it is useful, that you can connect with. So maybe with content, with the areas, with the different ideas. I don't know. I think that I can go on and on and on.
Thank you so much. And I know that, when we're looking here with the digital marketing for companies, I noticed that there is also here a picture of individuals that are, was this an opportunity for some of your students to take part in that? Could you tell us a little bit about that photo?
Yes, yes, yes. Those are my students, and there is a chef, and this is a vineyard, and it is really beautiful because this company is a beautiful company. They even have won prizes in Europe with their wines. So it is really a great company in Mexico. But the thing is that we were there trying to learn how do they do the experience for the audience. And the students were doing this as an observers, and they were trying to understand what was, the wine, and the ways that they can deal with the food. And the chef was explaining there, how do we measure that. But of course, this is a real trip, but I also work with them on a company basis, and they are amazing. They are truly winners, and they have done so many things on the field. They are leaders right now in Guanajuato, and even with them, I work on apps. My research program for my PhD, it was about something that we try to do with them, that it is an app, and a specialized app for them.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. We are talking about things. I know, thank you, Stephanie, for always bringing forth the questions about, how, the practicum of it, right? Of how we put this together and how we use that. Does anyone have any other questions that we could entertain at this time? We probably have time for probably one more. Just want to open that up to the audience and just to ensure that we are capturing your questions. And again, we'll circle back again if not at this time. So we're going to go ahead and continue then. And you mentioned research projects that you've been a part of, Adriana. And so now which one stands out the most in the area that really talks about the e-commerce and the marketing one? And we might go to the next slide to kind of see if this is one that you want to highlight as a research project, and kind of how all that your experience in that particular project. So, go ahead.
Well, it was really nice for me, and I would like to say that I like wine. I think that we all like wine, right? Good wines are really amazing to taste. But the good thing about this is that I could taste the wine, but also I could see the business wine. So it is an amazing, amazing sector. It is beautiful. They are so professional. And the beautiful thing about making this research is that I was trying to help them in order to move from the, I don't know, maybe the full experience, the life experience that they should need to have in order to have something on the digital part. In Mexico, we are an island from this for this sector, because as you have seen, I don't think that you have even recognize that in Guanajuato we have wines. I don't think that you know that. You know that France has wine, and you know about Napa, but it is really something nice because they are small owners. But even if you think that they are small, they are not that small. They are moving through the world. They are trying to do things. They even have gone to France. They won awards in Europe. So it is really nice. They are growing, but this is something that they are starting to do. So what I did is I compared the projects in the world. I worked with Switzerland, and it was really amazing the things that they do there, because they have a huge sector there. And also I was working with France, so it was really impressive for me to learn from these areas. And the curious thing about this is that in Texas you also have wine. And this sector is a beautiful one. I have seen, some bottles, and I have even tried to do something, but I haven't had time to do so. So it is really an opportunity for us to learn from these new environments, because this is a huge effort for a company. Wine is something really delicate in the world, because you have to be on the business for 6 years in order to have a wine for your company. So that's a lot. So you need to be on the business without being recognized, without being seen for 6 months, 6 years. So you really have to do something else. So people in the market, what they are doing is trying to go for the experience. That's the reason why all the bingers invite you to go to their place, right? And they want to show you the product and everything, because they need to find a way to make sustainable this thing, because you have to be there in the market. So this is a long journey for a business. So what we try to do is, well, if you cannot sell the wine now, you can sell the experience, and you have to be online with this experience. And I think that, I also try to move with several ventures. It was really nice. It is an experience. Indeed, they are willing to share these ideas with, I don't know, owners or whatever. So maybe if you have another opportunity to share this sector, it will be amazing. And also, I would like to really recognize Dallas College, because they are really ahead. They are trying to be ahead, and they were really interested on this opportunity. But my research, it has been really amazing. And with Dallas College, I think that I am trying to move to give the people the opportunity to learn from this sector, that it is not well known at all. And here at Dallas, it is moving really fast, because they are coming from California, so they know how to do it, but it is going to be the same. You need to have details, because Texas is going to find her own way to do wine in any and possibilities. I think that I am being amazing. So I don't know. And do you have any questions or something?
No, but Texas does make a great Tempranillo.
Oh, really? I didn't
Yes.
know that. I didn't know that.
Most definitely. I know for those who know, with the hill country that's really close to Austin, but then also Llano Estacado, that's in West Texas area. And so I think, it really does provide the soil and other areas. And even actually here in Rockwall, right? There's a winery there, San Marino there, that they also have their wineries there. So I think you're exactly correct that Texas will find a way to make that happen. So thank you. At this time, we've talked about, walking from what the Fulbright in Residence Scholar is, the journey for Dr. Barberena, and then now looking at some techniques and other things that have been really helpful for entrepreneurs and others as they're looking at the digital marketing area and keeping in mind of what that encompasses, and then some tools that are available already and that are that those can take part in. And then moving into the research project of more detailed of how everything just comes together. The very last slide is really one as a point of contact, right? In order, I know that one thing about the Fulbright in residence is that it's a short stay, right, with us. But we're very thankful to have had Dr. Adriana López Barberena here, and really special thanks to Noelle Piccoli-Biggs as well, their efforts here with the Fulbright in Resident Scholar Program. And want really to emphasize that although, Dr. Barberena, Adriana, you'll be returning, you also provided contact information for the Fulbright for those who really want to stay in contact in that regard, or to have more additional questions regarding some techniques that were shared today. And then also information there about the Fulbright program here. We also put information with the international engagement and global competitiveness area here that also is a part of the contact list there for Dallas College. So at this time, I really want to go ahead and turn it back to Stephanie and to Anthony. And I just want to thank you for allowing us to showcase the Fulbright and Scholar today. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Diana. I'm going to let Anthony go ahead and lead out, and I'll close out behind him.
Well, do we want to take any more questions? Trevor, are there any questions that we didn't get to here that do we want to ask, or are we closing out? We got a couple. I think we have some questions.
I did see one. I think your face got put on one. I don't know if that came from you or the chat, but
Oh, it
the
did.
digital diagnostics, I can start that one or ask it. No big deal.
Well, one of the questions I had was when we were talking about all the digital diagnostics, like how can small businesses prioritize what to fix when everything feels like, is urgent, or as there's a fire. Because, as a business owner, we're moving from one, emergency to another. When we're thinking about planning, if you had to give some guidance on how to think about or how to prioritize those thoughts, how would you answer that?
I will say that you need to prepare your people in order that everything can go wrong, and they need to know how to answer.
Yeah.
You have to be really, really quick. When you are doing digital media, you need to know how to answer, because people is complaining all the time. So what I will encourage is to have a plan, an emergency plan, something really, these are I'm sorry, apologize. And you need to be really correct. If we are going to do this as a company, you really have to apologize. And then because of our company did it so, and you need to know how to reward your people. You need to understand what to do. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, and because otherwise, well, I'm sorry, but I didn't get my receipt. So that's not the point. Okay, so you need to have a solution. So what you really, and sorry, because I can't talk a lot, you need to empower people. You need to do and to have this plan, this emergency plan, but also you need to empower people. They don't have to be afraid to make the solution, because people at services, it is sometimes always like, oh, no, you have to be fast. I will encourage you to do that. So those things are important.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Trevor, any other questions?
Thank you.
Looks like Dr. Maria has her hand up.
Oh, Dr. Maria, I apologize. I didn't see your hand.
Well, I'm surrounded by Noelle and her team. I'm just so proud of Noelle and her team. I just wanted to mention that, Adriana, what you were speaking about really made me recall the birth of Amazon. They changed the culture of organizations to be customer-led. And that meant that they started opening channels of communication, and the company evolved according to what the customers were saying. And so it started like a book company, And I think you can buy a car now on Amazon. I think you can buy anything. But their success in the market was their ability to communicate with customers and turn the suggestions of the customers in organizational development solutions to be able to respond. So I think going social media is very important, but as a company, you have to have your ducks in a row. So when the customers start giving opinions, which is what Adriana is saying, you have to have robots of response and protocols so that people don't say, well, I bought once here and then I wanted to change it and then nobody answered me, then I'm out of here. So I think Amazon and those online platforms that we were able to develop so much, especially after COVID, have set the bar very, very high for small companies, because it will require to maybe start a part-time person answering all the things that the customers are saying and seeing as an executive, how do we have to modify the company to be able to serve those clients and keep them, which is what a company needs to do. And I actually came with an investment visa with my consulting firm. So I've gone through all the all the growing pains of having a startup and a small consulting firm. So I just wanted, Adriana, how important, how you connected, something that's very data analytics and maybe I'm not strong at, but any executive of a company can actually look at that data and get the reports and make decisions so that the company can satisfy the needs of the customers. And we know companies that don't satisfy needs are out of here, like Pan Am and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So thank you for hosting this. This has been fabulous. And my only ask is always, what opportunities can we open for our students? Is there anyone online that has internships or has apprenticeships or has anything for our students? Please contact me at Dallas College. Thank you.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much for plugging that. And for our audience, please reach out to Stephanie or myself. Everyone has put in the chat their contact information. If you're watching this after the fact, we'd love to connect you with that person at DCC that can help connect you to their students for those internships. One of the things about being a global community is that it truly is global, and we all need help. We all need people. We all need young people. We all need that insight. And so any way that our members can help serve DCC and their students and to open those opportunities and those doors, let's be a people about it. And with that, I just love to close, guys. For those that are members, we're really excited that you made time today to watch this, to visit, to offer your questions. If you're not yet a member, we'd love to talk to you about membership. It's a great organization to be known deeply. We make a lot of introductions around the globe, around your local community, around your state, around your country. We've got 525 metro areas growing every week. So with that, I'd just like to say thank you to our panelists today, for Diana for moderating. I think we all learned a lot. And then obviously, Dr. Barberena, I just thank you for speaking with us today, for shining a light on this for our members and for those viewing. And I think I can speak for us all to say that we all learned something today. We can all walk away with something. And by the way, I will shamelessly plug Mexican wine. It's awesome. A lot of people don't really know that, but Mexico, their wine industry has been, Adriana knows this, but it's been growing leaps and bounds. They make a great cab. Everything that's on that Cia Cortez area, they're making some awesome wines. So for those that love wine. So Stephanie, did I miss anything there?
I just, are you guys able to see my link there on the page? No?
Oh, yes, you're sharing your screen. Yes, go to
Yes,
this.
Stephanie, it's on the screen. Go ahead.
Okay, wonderful. Yes, so as Anthony mentioned, if you're interested in being a part of Global Chamber, we would love to have you. For those who are not members, go to globalchamber.org. We have lots of happenings in all the metro cities, especially in Dallas. So if you're here in the Dallas area, we would love for you to be a part of our team and our membership here. We have a lot of upcoming events that are coming up soon. We have an autism event that's coming up for the Dallas location. We have for the Dallas location, we're also doing a networking event that's coming up, I believe it's in the month of May of June. I'll verify that. Anthony, he'll correct me on which one that is. And so we're very excited for everyone being here. Before we jump off the phone, we do have our Vice President of Operations of our corporate global chamber, which is Cesar Trabanco. And so Cesar, I didn't know whether or not you wanted to add anything. I definitely want to say thank you so much, Diana, for moderating. Thank you for Dr. Lopez Barberena, for you as well sharing information, and also Nayoli, thank you so much for your contribution. We're very excited to partner with Dallas College, and we're very excited about all that Diana brings to our young global leaders, and we're just grateful to watch how that just truly expand in our organization. So Cesar, are you there? You may have jumped off. Doug, you're there? So either Doug or Cesar. Doug is our CEO of Global Chamber of our corporate. And so Doug, there you go.
What an inspiring conversation. You know, the program is just amazing, and the energy and the information was just so inspiring. So thank you so much for pulling this together. It meant a lot to listen. I feel more powerful and dangerous and global and unstoppable after that conversation. So thank you to Dallas Colleges, and thank you to all the speakers.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Doug. Also, we made it easy for those, so you won't have to go to the website if you're interested in joining. There's a QR code there. You can hover over that with your phone so that you can join Global Chamber Dallas Fort Worth or any of the chapters that's closer that's in your city. Well, that's all I have. Is there any other comments? We want to also thank our board members that are here. Michael Walker, he is on the committee for Global Chamber for the Young Global Leaders. He partners with Diana. Trevor has been he's a member, but he's everything for us. We always have him available. He joins us. He also provides great input and helping us navigate through the performance scoring tool. Is there anybody else that I overlooked? Lillian, she's also joined us as well. She's part of Austin Global Solutions, and so she's joined us. Did I overlook anyone else, Anthony, that you can think of?
I'm sure you did, because there's too many people here to mention, but we thank everyone for joining. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you guys so much. All
Thank
right,
you.
we're giving you 2 minutes of your day back.
Thank you. Have a very
Yes.
good rest of the
All
day.
right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.